Mi nombre es Beatriz Otero, soy la asistenta especial del Ejecutivo Marc Elrich. Good morning, my name is Vivi Otero and I am Special Assistant to Marc Elrich. Es realmente un gran placer estar aquí hoy y especialmente para un momento en que el condado está manifestándose en promover la confianza de nuestra comunidad por medio de esta acción. It's really a tremendous pleasure to be here, and in particular at the moment in which the county and the county executive and the county council pronounces itself in promoting community trust in moments like this, and the moments that immigrants are going through in this country at this moment. For many of us who have come to this country as immigrants, who treasure the ability to have been able to be educated, to work here, to participate in this democracy, we are troubled by the attacks in our communities. And so this moment and being able to be part of a government in a local jurisdiction that has made a decision that it stands behind its immigrant community is really an amazing opportunity and an amazing thing. So please give all of these folks a round of applause in terms of that. Realmente es una oportunidad increíble para todos nosotros que somos inmigrantes, que hemos venido a este país y lo hemos hecho el nuestro, para todos nosotros que sabemos que nosotros, nuestros hijos, nuestras familias participan de la comunidad, participan de sus derechos, que en este momento un gobierno como el gobierno de Montgomery County haya hecho la decisión de promover la confianza, la decisión de apoyar a los inmigrantes que viven y residen, trabajan y colaboran con este condado, es realmente un momento excepcional. We will let me begin the event by introducing our county executive, Marc Elrich, and he will be followed by our chair of the council, Nancy Navarro, and council members Will Gerando, Gabe Albornoz, Evan Glass, and Tom Hucker. So we'll go in that order. Thank you.
So, this is one of those days you wish you didn't have to do things like this. But we have to do things like this, and I'm glad that I'm having people standing behind me to understand the importance of what we're doing today. I wish we had an immigration policy that was pretty simple. You come here, you get in, you get educated, your kids get educated, you become Americans, and life goes on. And it worked for my grandparents, it worked for lots of other people. If they want a policy, we've got a blueprint of a policy. We just need to bring it back. There are ways to handle this world better than this country has been handling it. But I want to thank you for joining me today for the signing of the county's first Promoting Community Trust Executive Order. I thank members of the council and community groups who assisted in developing this important policy. Today I'm pleased to share the details of the policy and to be clear that the county and I stand behind our immigrants and by all the groups who are working so hard to help our immigrants. As a little bit of background, the county is one of the most diverse counties in the United States with a thriving immigrant community representing more than 30% of the county's population. I believe, and I'm sure Sydney will correct me, but I think it's the county has 4 of the 10 most diverse cities in the country. I'd say we've learned how to manage immigration pretty well, without a lot of drama and nonsense. I want to say that one of the things we're trying to do is, first of all, end any perception that contact, let me go back to where I was. Consistent with my vision of creating a more equitable and inclusive Montgomery County, it's vital that all residents of Montgomery County feel safe and welcomed within the county and have access to the many resources which make the county an exceptional place to live and which make it possible for people to thrive and succeed. It is especially important that all county residents feel safe contacting police and other county law enforcement officials without fear that such contact could lead to negative consequences for themselves or for their family. Any perception that such contact could lead to negative immigration consequences for an individual or member of their families undermines that goal and erodes public safety. Enforcing immigration law is the sole responsibility of the federal government of the United States. It is not in the interest of Montgomery County to utilize its limited resources to facilitate the enforcement of civil immigration law. The Promoting Community Trust Executive Order aims to reaffirm current county policy and improve community security by ensuring that immigrant and otherwise vulnerable communities can engage with county departments, including public safety departments, with an assurance that such engagement will not be used to assist in civil immigration enforcement or a federal discriminatory practice. Further, the present order is intended to ensure that the constitutional rights of immigrant county residents are not violated and the county benefits and services are provided to residents regardless of country of birth or immigration status. Highlights of the policy are as follows. County employees and departments are prohibited from requesting information about citizenship or immigration status unless required for the benefit. No employee or department will investigate or assist the investigation of the citizenship or immigration status of any person unless such inquiry or investigation is required by a court order. County employees and departments are prohibited from making threats based on citizenship or immigration status. No individual will be subjected to verbal abuse based on one's actual or perceived immigration status. No employee or department will condition benefits, services, or opportunities based on citizen or immigration status. However, some benefits like food stamps require that information. Our police department may not arrest a person based on an administrative warrant, an immigration detainer, or any other directive by DHS on a belief that the person is not present legally in the United States or has committed a civil immigration violation. Our corrections department may not detain a person based on an administrative warrant, an immigration detainer, or any other directive by DHS on a belief that the person is not present legally in the United States or has committed a civil immigration violation. County employees and departments may not utilize county resources to coordinate with any immigration enforcement official in furtherance of a civil immigration enforcement operation by permitting immigration officials access to persons being detained or access to non-public spaces in county facilities. No county resources may be used to investigate, enforce, or assist in the investigation or enforcement of any federal program requiring registration of individuals on the basis of race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or national or ethnic origin. In summary, this order is effective immediately. The executed version of the order will be available online later today. The Promoting Community Trust Executive Order applies to departments of the executive branch. I appreciate the council members who stand in agreement with me and will now offer them time to provide remarks. So I want to call up first Nancy Navarro.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Nancy Navarro, yo soy inmigrante y soy la presidenta del Consejo del Condado de Montgomery. Good morning, I believe, yeah, we're still in the morning time. I'm Nancy Navarro, I am an immigrant, and I am the president of the Montgomery County Council. Yo digo eso porque es importante recordar las contribuciones que nosotros los inmigrantes estamos haciendo día a día, no solamente en este condado, sino en este país. And I only say that because it is important to remember the contributions that immigrants make on a daily basis, not just here in Montgomery County, but throughout the country. En este condado sabemos de que hubo un cambio radical en la década de los 80. Ahí fue cuando comenzó este cambio y y esta comunidad creciente inmigrante. It was in the 1980s that this county began to see a lot of the changes when it came to seeing really an uptick in the immigrant community, particularly from Central America. Y todos sabemos que desde ese entonces la calidad de vida en este condado solo se mejora. And we know that ever since, the quality of life in this county has always been a very high quality of life. People want to come here for a lot of reasons. Y yo también quiero recalcar eso porque lo que estamos oyendo día a día en la televisión, en la radio, en los periódicos es un constante ataque queriendo minimizar las contribuciones de nosotros los inmigrantes. And I say that also because I want to make sure that people understand that it is a fallacy when folks try to somehow scapegoat immigrants as if we are here to somehow destroy the fabric of this country. A country that was really formed on the basis of being a welcoming country, welcoming people who were facing persecution, welcoming those who wanted that American dream. And so it is a little bit sad, I will say, that we do have to be here, reaffirming our commitment. But these are very, very particular times. And aunque es triste estar aquí teniendo que reafirmar este compromiso, lo tenemos que hacer porque estos son momentos muy difíciles y muy peligrosos para nuestras comunidades. Just recently, we saw some of the reporting and we heard the President of the United States telling these congresswomen to go back to their countries. You know, in 2009, when I ran for office, I was receiving messages in my email asking me to produce my naturalization certificate. And so this is not new. This has been going on for a while. Sabemos que hay 4 congresistas, a cual el presidente dijo que tenían que regresarse a su país. Y yo estoy compartiendo que cuando yo me lancé en el 2009, también me pedían a mí que probara mi certificado de naturalización. Sabemos que estos ataques siguen. But you know, we are a proud county. We are the example. We are a place where our extraordinary diversity of thought, our extraordinary diversity of traditions really strengthens us. I know that for my daughters who are now young professionals, the fact that they grew up in this county time and time again, they talk about how when they travel, they're so glad they grew up here because they understand how to navigate our world. And so for us, it is an asset and we want to protect it. Queremos proteger el hecho de que somos inmigrantes y que tenemos una tradición y una comunidad muy fuerte. Eso lo vamos a proteger hoy. And that is why I am really proud to stand here along with my colleagues on the County Council and with the executive. We had a lot of conversations about how can we strengthen, how can we formalize what we already do. And this today, this act, is a real important step forward in doing that. So thank you everybody for being here. And please check on your neighbors. Please make sure that you give them, even if it's a little bit of, you know, just a comment, just a sense of reassurance, because our communities are hurting, and we need to stand up for Montgomery County values. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you to our fearless leader, our council president, Nancy Navarro, and to the county executive for your courage and hearing the response and the need of your community. Many members who are scared right now, who are worried that their quality of life, that their families could be torn apart at any moment. And I think it's I know it's the responsibility of those of us who have the privilege of representing the more than 1.1 million people of this county to send a strong and clear message that every one of our residents, the 1/3 that were born outside the country, those who were born here, their children, their families, that they count, that they matter, that they are a vital part of the fabric of our community. And that's what this executive order goes a long way in reaffirming. It's also important to remember that in the midst of these raids and children being herded in cages and unfortunately some losing their lives, and members of Congress who are duly elected that one of whom happens to come from another country, other who have parents that may be immigrants like myself, that we reaffirm that no human being deserves to be treated the way we are treating people. I'm thankful again that our county has stepped up and said that this is a place where all of us contribute and have meaning, and that we will not cooperate with federal immigration law. It's not our job. It doesn't keep people safe. It's not our duty. Our duty is to the residents of Montgomery County to keep them safe and to make sure that they can live knowing that we have their back. Trust is essential to any relationship. If you don't have trust in your personal life and your personal relationships, it doesn't work. So too is it so with government. We must signal to our community and all of our agencies, anyone who interacts and has the privilege of serving our public, that we will work with them, we trust them, we will help them, regardless of any part of their background, race, ethnicity, immigration status. I'm thankful to a welcoming America. I stand here today in no small part to immigration policies in the 70s that allowed my father to flee a civil war in Nigeria and come to this country. It's a reminder that in Montgomery County, we have immigrants from almost every country in the world. And you're going to hear from some of our advocates today who are going to talk about why this is so important. But I commit to you, and as do my colleagues, to make sure that this executive order is not only signed and implemented, but enforced. And I think it's a strong message that we send to all of us who have the privilege of working in county government, that we will respect and treat all our residents with dignity. Thank you very much.
Buenos días. Me llamo Gabe Albornoz, soy uno de los 9 miembros del Consejo del Condado de Montgomery y es un placer y honor de estar con ustedes esta mañana. Good morning, my name is Gabe Albornoz and I'm one of the 9 members of the Montgomery County Council, and it is a pleasure and honor to be with all of you this morning. As the county executive said, it's unfortunate that we have to be here in the first place. Local jurisdictions across this country have had to step forward to ensure that we provide safety and security for our neighbors, our friends, and community residents across the country because of the utter and complete failure of our federal system to be able to enact common sense and moral immigration reform. And until that happens, jurisdictions such as Montgomery County, which is known for its diversity and has been and will be for many generations to come, must do all that it can to ensure the safety and security of our entire community, because we are here to serve our entire community. As the chair of the Health and Human Services Committee, we held a joint session with our Education and Culture Committee about 4 months ago. And we learned that there has been a decline in accessing public services within our Health and Human Services Department. We learned of rumors that spread through our school system that resulted in large numbers of students staying home from school. This creates a public health issue for all of us. This creates an education crisis for all of us. Not only is this a moral imperative for us to support our children, youth, and families across our entire county, but it also is an important public policy imperative for us to make sure that people feel comfortable accessing the services that they most certainly have the right to access. And so we stand before you today united as a community. In the audience, we see not just community advocates, not just advocates from our brothers and sisters in labor, but our entire community, our faith-based community, our business community, which relies so heavily on the incredibly hard work of our immigrant community. We have to tackle and address this issue holistically, and we have to do it in a sustained manner. I'm also proud to state that this executive order is an incredibly important step in ensuring that we secure the safety of all of our residents so that everyone feels comfortable. But we want to do more. We want to do more moving forward, working jointly between our council and executive branch and all the community advocates to ensure that we better connect the incredible safety net that we already have here in Montgomery County. And so later this year, we will be partnering and working on a summit that brings together all those key stakeholders so that we can more cohesively provide services and look at other policies that may help to alleviate some of the pressures that our families are feeling right now. I'll end with this. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to visit several of our community-based organizations serving families in our community that are most directly impacted by the crisis and the insanity and the immorality that we're experiencing from this presidential administration. And I came across a family who the little boy who was a member of this family was my son's age. And hearing from him the stress that he was feeling and that family was feeling left me in tears, left me with a strong desire to do everything humanly possible to address this issue, and also acknowledge and reinforce the complex challenges that these families are leaving from their home countries. They don't want to spend their life savings. They don't want to risk their lives to come here to experience the challenges that they're feeling here. They are coming out of a definitive necessity, an economic and criminal justice crisis that's going on in the countries of their origin. We have to empathize and understand that the reasons they are leaving are many. The solutions are complex, but while they are here, we need to do everything we can to support them. So it is an honor to stand with my colleagues and all of you to help continue to move forward just policies and just practices. Quiero dar un mensaje a las familias de nuestra comunidad. Es un placer y honor de servirles. Nosotros estamos aquí para servirles a todos a ustedes. Estamos aquí para servirles en todas capacidades de nuestro gobierno. Vamos a hacer todo lo posible para apoyarlos, para darles un cariño y muchas gracias por elegir nuestra comunidad y nuestro país para promover sus familias. Gracias.
Good afternoon. My name is Evan Glass. I'm one of the at-large members of the council. I'm proud to be standing with my colleagues today because down on Pennsylvania Avenue, we have leaders who are signing executive orders that divide our community and frighten our community. And here on Maryland Avenue, we have leaders who are signing executive orders that protect our community, share that we are welcoming, that everybody is valued here, regardless of where you come from, regardless of the language you speak, and regardless of your immigration status, because that's who we are as Montgomery County. And I'm proud to be with my colleagues today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon? Yes, right. I'm also very proud to be here today and very proud of our executive for taking this very strong step and my colleagues for pushing for it. Thank you to my friend Gustavo Torres and CASA for their tireless advocacy on behalf of all of our neighbors. Every single individual, every single family in Montgomery County deserves to feel safe, no matter if they came here on the Mayflower or they came here last week. And they should all know that the county government, particularly our leaders and our law enforcement, is on their side. And I want every member of our county government administration, every employee, to be treating our immigrant neighbors the way I would have wanted my grandfather and my grandmother to be treated when they arrived. Not everyone's aware of this, so it needs to be said. For too many of our hardworking neighbors, we're living in a time of fear and anxiety. Too many Montgomery County families are gripped with fear today. The federal government is terrifying our communities and pushing fear to new heights. ICE has been at the Silver Spring Metro running after constituents of mine, literally running after them and chasing them onto trains, scanning people as they exited arriving trains, and chased one man in particular who was able to jump on a train to get away that day. This is in 2019 in Montgomery County. I've gone there, I've gone to other locations to chase down reports from terrified neighbors and constituents. Every day I get asked by constituents what the county is doing to combat this. And it's a fair question given this climate of fear and anxiety that this administration has created. But we're in a new council and a new executive administration in Montgomery County. We have new leadership of our police and our corrections departments, and the timing is ideal for us to codify once and for all that county staff will in no way collaborate with or assist the federal government in carrying out immigration enforcement activities. And I'm very glad, and I'm proud to have suggested this codification and clarification a month ago with the county executive. It will be crystal clear from now on that Montgomery County officers should not be asking anyone, what country are you from?
or other leading or coercive questions to confirm their immigration status. And the next time ICE may show up by surprise at some public place in the county, county police will absolutely not be working with them in any way. It will also be law that our county corrections should not be detaining anyone after they are eligible for release from county custody. I've always supported those concepts. I firmly believe this county should be as supportive as possible of the rights of all of our immigrant neighbors. And again, I applaud the executive for putting this executive order forward and codifying this practice. Thank you very much.
Otro aplauso, por favor. Another applause, please, for our elected officials who are protecting our constitutional rights. So we've heard from elected officials, and now we know that there is no action that we can take that we can do alone without the support of our community partners, our members of our community. So we wanted to take a moment and give an opportunity to them to speak to us in terms of what this means for the community. So we'll hear first from Gustavo Torres, who's the Executive Director of Casa Maryland, Bishop Johnson, who's the Chair of the African Immigrant Caucus, Coach Fofo, everybody knows who Coach Fofo is, and Luz Castro, who is a member of the community. So Gustavo.
Thank you very much, Billy. Thank you. So I got an interview this morning, and somebody asked me, like, so now you become a sanctuary county? And I said, no, we have a welcoming county. So they told me, so then you are going to tolerate better immigrants? And say, no, we celebrate immigrants. We celebrate the contribution of the immigrant community. That is exactly this executive order about. Again, my name is Gustavo Torres. Thank you so much. And Mr. County Executive, mil gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for really hear our community, our members, about the crisis that we are facing in Montgomery County. And I believe that this is a critical first step that has come after many years of advocacy. And I just want to say so many extraordinary organizations, and it's the time to say thanks to all of you for your great work. And I need to name you because you make the difference. You make this happen. And I want to start, of course, with our friends from the Jewish United for Justice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your work. The African Immigrant Caucus, Congregation Action Network, Asian American Advancing Justice, Showing Up for Racial Justice Montgomery, Tacoma Mobilization, American Civil Liberty Union, Undocu Black, Care or Council of American Islam Relations, Save Silver Spring, Do the Most Good, and of course, SEIU. Thank you so much. Whatever it is, working in this Trust Act or working in minimum wage, this is the coalition that work together with our policymakers to make things happen right over here in the county. We are very honored to be part of this coalition, and we are going to continue working on this very, very important issue. And you know what? We receive all the times for our members of our community that the police ask them for their immigration status, the citizenship, and we say enough is enough. Our community tell us that they don't trust the police because of that, and this leadership is telling no, the police is ready to help you. The departments in Montgomery County are ready to help you. And it's a very, very, very important message that we are communicating to our families, to our communities today. We really, really need to make sure that we celebrate today this important victory. And we need to celebrate with our political leadership today. But tomorrow, this coalition is ready to make sure that this victory is a victory that is going to become permanent victory. Don't we? So we are going to go to our friends in the county council to make sure that we codify this, that this is a permanent message for our families and for our community. This coalition is going to visit each one of you to let you know how important is this executive order and how important is that it's become a legislation in Montgomery County. Because you know what? This is Montgomery way. We believe in boldness and innovation. And if it's not right over here, so where? Thank you very much for this opportunity. Muchísimas gracias.
Good afternoon. I'm Bishop Darlington Johnson. I'm a pastor of the Bethel World Outreach Church. We're based in Olney, Maryland, and I get the privilege of pastoring a multicultural congregation consisting of many African immigrants, Latinos, and quite a number of people from Brazil, as well as native-born, natural-born Americans. I too am an immigrant. In 1990, I found myself here displaced because of a civil war in Liberia. I hadn't planned to come to America to live. I came to visit, but just couldn't go back when the war escalated. Airports were closed. My wife and I were literally stranded here. And we had a daughter that was still in Liberia. By the grace of God, at that time there was a pathway. And we were able to follow that so that today I'm an American citizen. I want to think I've made some positive contributions to Montgomery County over the years. A number of years ago, we felt that we needed to do what we could to help African immigrants in this community have a greater voice. Because we love Montgomery County, we felt we were part. For practical purposes, we knew that this was our new home. And we didn't want to be just claiming this perpetually guests and foreigners. We wanted to be citizens. We wanted to be able to contribute to our new home to ensure that it would be the best place not only for us, but for our children. And as a result, we began to mobilize the African immigrants in the community. We wanted a voice at the table. And I'm proud to say one of our successes, as a result of our efforts, we don't claim total credit, but we do claim some credit for Will Jawanda. And Will has been part of that. He's helped us and we work together. But I'm here in particular to say thank you to your county executive for this executive order that you've issued. It's going to make a difference for our people. We're glad that Montgomery County continues to be a place that supports immigrants and allows our immigrant population to make the maximum contribution we can, because we're convinced that we're allowed to do all we can. Montgomery County will not only be better for us, but for everybody. And so with this policy, our people can rest a little bit better at night, those who are not documented. And we are in full agreement with those of you who realize and who want to continue to fight that what is today a policy will become law, so that this battle doesn't have to be fought. But you can be assured that the African Immigrant Community and the African Immigrant Caucus will stand with you, County Executive, and the members of the council that support immigration. You can count on our support as we work together to make Montgomery County the best county in the nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Coach Fofo. Bonjour. Je m'appelle Coach Fofo. I'm an immigrant. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher. I'm a father. And I'm also a community organizer. It be a day God has made today to have this executive order signed by the government behind, and all big guy here to make sure our fear. 2 weeks ago, when this order came into, start detaining people, we have a training of our family stay home because they can come to the practice. because parents say, Coach, we don't know if you will get out what's gonna happen. But I believe from today, I can have them on practice from tomorrow, and then their life and their house can continue and be proud. As everybody know me, I'm also in the situation right now in front of you, detained with an IC. And I'm going back on in October to check in. First of all, I want to be thankful to Montgomery County. I never see that kind of support the day this happened to me. Kaza, everybody in the community, people who know me, who don't know me, stand up behind me. That's the Montgomery County we come and we want to live. And I'm very proud to be in this country, to be a father in this country, to be also contribute in the community. It saved a lot of kids. Be now on the streets, be now on the gang, be now on the drug, but I'm focused in the high education, be fulfilled in the community because of all my council member. Trust me, not because I'm an immigrant, but I'm a contributor. Et je suis très content d'être devant vous aujourd'hui pour dire merci. Merci à tout ce que le camp exécutif et les décisions qu'il venait de prendre pour que les immigrés qui vivent dans Montgomery County soient rassurés et ne plus avoir peur et continuer leur vie dans ce Montgomery County. Merci, merci, merci beaucoup.
Buenos días. Good morning. Mi nombre es Luz Castro.
My name is Luz Castro.
Soy madre soltera de 3 hijos
I'm a single mother of 3 kids,
y he venido a este país para buscar una oportunidad de vida digna,
and I've come to this country to find a dignified life,
en donde mi hijo menor en condición de discapacidad pueda encontrar un futuro mejor.
where my youngest son who has a disability can have better opportunities.
Gracias al Ejecutivo del Condado Marc Elrich
Thank you to the County Executive Marc Elrich
por apoyarnos y aprobar este orden ejecutivo, el cual hemos luchado tanto
to support and to approve this executive order that we've been fighting so hard,
y que es tan importante para nuestras vidas y nuestra tranquilidad.
that is so important for our life and for our tranquility.
Uno no se siente bien cuando lo señalan como ilegales o sentirse que no puede estar en zonas públicas.
It doesn't feel good when someone points their finger and calls them illegal, or feeling that we can't be comfortable in public areas.
En estos momentos la inmigración está fuerte en nuestra comunidad
In this moment, immigration is strong in our community,
y es importante esta decisión para asegurar que el condado de Montgomery County no esté trabajando en conjunto con la migración.
and it's really important to have this policy to make sure that the county is not working with immigration.
Valió la pena el tiempo y los esfuerzos que hemos dedicado
It was worth the time, all the time and energy that was dedicated,
porque debido a esto he dejado de ir a trabajar para estar aquí en la lucha por nuestros ideales.
because of this, I've taken days off of work to make sure that we're fighting for our ideals,
Y por el de todos nuestros amigos, compañeros emigrantes.
and for all of our neighbors, immigrant neighbors.
Hoy me doy cuenta que sí se puede confiar en ustedes,
Today I realize that I can trust the folks that are here,
que aunque tengan cargos tan importantes,
even though that you have very prestigious positions,
dedican su tiempo a causas como estas,
that you have dedicated your time to causes like these ones,
en pro de todos aquellos que hemos llegado a este país
in pro of everybody that has arrived to this country,
y en su deseo de apoyarnos para que tengamos los mismos derechos que las personas que nacieron en este país.
and your wish is to make sure that we have the same opportunities and rights as everybody who was born in this country.
Trump dice que todos los que estamos aquí somos lo peor de nuestros países.
Trump says that the ones that are here are the worst from our country.
Eso no es cierto.
That is not true.
No estamos aquí para causar daño.
We're not here to cause any harm.
Venimos con las intenciones de trabajar
We're here to find employment opportunities,
y muchos tenemos la conciencia de pagar nuestros taxes y desempeñar trabajos dignos
and many of us are paying our taxes and trying to develop dignified jobs
para mejorar nuestro día a día.
to make sure that we're improving day to day.
He estado aprendiendo poco a poco sobre las leyes y normas que estipula el condado,
I've been learning little by little the different laws that are being created by the county
porque quiero actuar bien en este país
because I want to be a good member of this community.
y asimismo he recibido ayuda para mi bienestar y para el de mi hijo.
The same way that I receive benefits for my well-being and for my child,
Asimismo quiero cumplir con un buen comportamiento en este país.
I want to make sure that I'm a good member of this society.
Le pido a los concejales que nos apoyen a pasar la legislación para darle más fuerza a la orden ejecutiva.
I ask the council members to pass the legislations to make sure that we add more strength to the executive order.
Gracias por dejarnos estar aquí.
Thank you for allowing us to be here.
Siempre digo esto, somos seres humanos y solo vinimos para tener una vida digna y vivir todos en paz.
We are all human beings and we're all here to have a dignified life and to live in peace.
Soy una ciudadana del mundo.
I am a citizen of the world.
Somos ciudadanos del mundo.
I'm a citizen of the world.
Gracias a
Thank
todos.
you.
Thank you to all of the advocacy groups, the community members, the community groups who made this reality and who continue to fight and promise to keep feet to the fire. So thank you very much. We are now going to Excuse me. All right. We will now move to the signing of the order.
Clark. Hello.